Chosen one, you are not here by accident, and this moment is not random. Heaven has aligned your steps with this exact word, at this exact time, because your trial has reached its final measure. What you are sensing in your spirit right now is not imagination, it is recognition. The unseen realm knows that something has shifted over your life. Chosen one. The season of testing has come to completion, and you are standing at the threshold of divine acceleration. What was delayed is now being released. What was restricted is now being transferred. You are not merely approaching relief. You are approaching provision, favor, and supernatural supply that comes only by divine appointment. This is the moment when God moves you from endurance into overflow, from survival into stewardship. Anointed one, heaven has watched every quiet sacrifice, every unseen act of obedience, every night you trusted God without evidence. And now the atmosphere is responding, doors are aligning, resources are being redirected. Wealth that was held back is preparing to move with purpose, not for pride, but for assignment. As it is written, those who remained faithful over little are entrusted with much. This is that moment. Still your heart, open your spirit. What you are about to hear is not information, it is activation. Your rise is not coming, it has begun. Chosen one, lift your head for a moment. Not out of pride, but out of recognition. Something has shifted, and deep down, you already know it. The pressure that once sat on your chest doesn't feel as heavy anymore. The questions that kept you awake at night don't scream the way they used to. This is not emotional relief. This is spiritual transition. Heaven has closed a chapter, and your spirit felt the click before your mind could explain it. There was a season when everything felt delayed at the same time. Not just one area of life, but all of it. Finances stretched thin, relationships felt distant, motivation faded. You kept showing up, but nothing seemed to move. Chosen one. That wasn't stagnation. That was examination. The silence was not absence. It was observation. Heaven was watching how you carried weight without applause, how you obeyed without clarity, how you stayed soft when disappointment tried to harden you. I've walked through seasons like that, where you do everything right and still feel like you're failing, where you pray, not with confidence, but with exhaustion, where you say, "Lord, I trust you," and then quietly wonder if trust is all you'll ever have. Those seasons are not meant to break you. They are designed to reveal who you are when nothing is rewarding you for your faith. Chosen one, you were being refined, not delayed. Every closed door was a filter. Every unanswered prayer was shaping your discernment. You learned how to listen without needing signs. You learned how to obey without immediate reward. You learned how to keep your integrity intact when compromise would have made life easier. That is not common faith. That is tested faith. And tested faith carries authority. There comes a moment when heaven stops testing and starts transferring. You don't hear a trumpet. You don't see a flash of light. You just notice that what used to drain you no longer controls you. You respond differently. You speak differently. You wait differently. That's because the test ended quietly. The moment you chose surrender instead of control. The moment you stopped demanding answers and simply stayed aligned. That was the final question on the exam. Anointed one, what comes next is not chaos, it's order, divine order. The same God who allowed the pressure is now releasing precision. Things will begin to move, not because you push harder, but because the timing has shifted. Opportunities will appear that you didn't chase. Provision will come through channels you didn't expect. Favor will find you in rooms where you once felt invisible. This rise is not about ego, it's about stewardship. You were trained in the dark so you wouldn't misuse the light. You were hidden so your heart could mature without distortion. And now, heaven trusts you with more, because you didn't abandon God when life made no sense. Take a breath here. Let this settle. You are not catching up. You are not late. You are not behind. You are right on time. The trial is complete. The rise has begun. And in the next moments, you're going to understand why everything had to unfold exactly the way it did. Chosen one, there is a reason the silence felt heavier than the struggle. Noise distracts, but silence reveals. When everything went quiet, God was not stepping away from you. He was drawing you closer, teaching you to hear Him without interference. That season stripped you of shortcuts, emotional crutches, and borrowed confidence, until all that remained was truth. And truth is the only foundation strong enough to hold what you are stepping into now. I remember seasons where nothing external changed, yet everything internal was being rearranged. I still went to work. I still paid bills. I still smiled in public. But privately, I felt like God had pressed pause on my life. Looking back, that pause saved me. It kept me from entering doors I was not ready to carry. It protected me from blessings that would have broken my character. Silence is not emptiness. It is alignment. Chosen one. Heaven often does its deepest work when you feel the least movement. Roots grow underground before anything breaks the surface. If growth happened above ground first, storms would destroy it. That is why God hides you before He lifts you. That is why preparation always feels slower than promise. You were not being delayed. You were being fortified. There were nights you replayed conversations in your mind, wondering if you made the wrong choices. Moments when you questioned whether obedience was costing you too much. Times when walking away felt wiser than waiting. But every time you stayed aligned, something eternal was recorded, not by people, by heaven. Your faithfulness in small, unseen decisions became spiritual capital. This is how authority is formed. Not through charisma, but through consistency. Not through talent, but through trust. You learned how to govern your emotions instead of letting them govern you. You learned how to respond instead of react. You learned how to stay rooted when disappointment tried to uproot you. These are not soft skills. These are kingly disciplines. Anointed one, the silence also exposed what could not follow you. Certain relationships faded. Certain desires lost their grip. Certain patterns stopped working. That was not loss. That was separation. God was removing weight so you could move with clarity. Elevation always requires subtraction. You cannot carry yesterday's attachments into tomorrow's assignment. You may have felt lonely, but you were never alone. There were moments you felt unseen, yet heaven was leaning in. The quiet trained your discernment. It sharpened your hearing. It refined your instincts. Now you can sense alignment before words are spoken. You can feel resistance before it manifests. You can recognize divine timing without needing explanation. That sensitivity is not weakness, it is spiritual intelligence. Chosen one. Silence is where identity is settled. When no one is affirming you, you discover who you really are. When no one is applauding, you learn whether obedience is still your choice. And you chose it. Again and again. That is why this rise will be sustainable. You are not built on hype. You are built on depth. What comes next will move faster than what came before, not because God rushed, but because you are ready. When preparation is complete, acceleration is natural. The ground you once cried on is about to support you. The season that felt empty is about to produce evidence. Hold this truth firmly. Silence was not punishment, it was partnership. Heaven trusted you enough to work on you quietly. And now, what was formed in the unseen is ready to stand in the light. Do not rush this unveiling. Walk slowly, listen deeply, and stay yielded. What God releases next will require the same humility that sustained you in waiting. You are rising without losing yourself, advancing without forgetting grace. This is how heaven elevates safely, powerfully, and permanently. It will bless others, honor God, and confirm that your preparation was never wasted at all times. Chosen one, now you are stepping into the phase where movement replaces waiting and response replaces resistance. This is the season where heaven begins to intervene without warning, and life starts shifting in ways you did not plan. What once felt stuck will suddenly feel fluid, not because circumstances changed first, but because you did. I have seen this moment arrive quietly, often disguised as an ordinary day, when clarity settles without effort. You wake up and realize you are no longer fighting everything, no longer chasing explanations, no longer forcing outcomes. That is not resignation, chosen one. That is authority taking its rightful place. Authority does not announce itself with noise. It moves with certainty and calm. You have been trained to move without panic, to speak without fear, and to act without hesitation when alignment appears. This is where divine redirection becomes visible, not through chaos, but through precision. Conversations shift, opportunities surface, and doors open that once resisted your presence. It may feel sudden, but it is not accidental. Every silent yes you gave created momentum that is now breaking into motion. Anointed one, heaven never rushes, but it also never misses its moment. What you are entering now is a season of divine response. Your obedience has activated movement you cannot yet see, but you will soon feel. This is where faith stops feeling theoretical and begins to feel practical. You start noticing that the same challenges no longer intimidate you the way they once did. That is because authority has replaced anxiety. I remember realizing one day that situations which used to drain me now simply required a decision. There was no emotional spiral, no internal debate, just clarity. That clarity is one of the first signs that the trial has truly ended. Chosen one. When God shifts your season, your inner world always changes before your outer world follows. Your thoughts align faster, your reactions soften, and your discernment sharpens. You stop forcing outcomes and start cooperating with timing. This is where spiritual authority feels quiet but firm. You no longer chase validation because heaven has already confirmed your position. The need to prove yourself dissolves. The need to explain yourself fades. You are anchored. This is how sudden shifts happen without instability. Your foundation was built in obscurity, so your elevation does not shake you. What rises quickly without roots collapses under pressure, but you were rooted deeply. Now, when momentum increases, you remain steady. This steadiness is what makes your rise sustainable. Chosen one, divine intervention is unfolding around you, even if it does not yet look dramatic. Small shifts are aligning into larger movement. What feels subtle now will soon feel undeniable. Stay present in this transition. Do not rush to interpret everything. Let alignment speak for itself. The same God who carried you through pressure is now guiding you through precision. Your role is not to strive, but to stay responsive. When heaven moves, your obedience keeps the door open. Trust this unfolding. You are not being rushed. You are being released. The trial is complete, and the rise is no longer approaching. It is active. What comes next will confirm what your spirit already knows. Heaven has responded, and you are walking into the evidence. Remain humble, remain attentive, and remain surrendered as the path unfolds. This posture will protect what is being released through you. You are no longer proving faith. You are practicing authority, and authority, when carried with humility, always brings life. Your rise will bless others because it was forged in obedience, not ambition. This is the kind of elevation heaven sustains. Stay aligned, stay grateful, and stay listening. The next movement will require the same heart that survived the silence. You are ready. Heaven knows it. And soon, your life will reflect it clearly. The rise has begun, and it will continue with purpose. Chosen one, there is a moment when you realize that what tried to destroy you has quietly submitted to you. The fear no longer has a voice. The memories no longer control your reactions. The weight that once bent your posture now sits beneath your feet. This is not denial. This is dominion. You did not conquer by force. You conquered by endurance. Authority is never given to those who escape the fire. It is entrusted to those who walked through it and refused to lose their integrity. I know what it feels like to carry responsibility without recognition, to hold faith together while everything around you felt fragile, to keep choosing humility when pride offered a faster escape. Those choices cost you something. They drained you, they tested you, but they also rewired you. Fire does not just expose weakness, it seals strength. What remained in you after the fire is what heaven can now trust. Anointed one, spiritual authority is formed when obedience becomes instinct, when you no longer need pressure to choose what is right, when compromise no longer tempts you because clarity has settled your values. You learned how to wait without resentment. You learned how to forgive without apology. You learned how to move forward without dragging bitterness behind you. These are not emotional victories. These are governmental ones. Heaven governs through hearts that have been purified, not impressed. There were battles no one saw, decisions you made quietly that rerouted your future. You chose restraint when retaliation would have felt justified. You chose silence when explanation would have gained sympathy. You chose faith when logic withdrew its support. That is why your authority now carries weight. It was not built in public affirmation. It was built in private surrender. And private surrender always produces public stability. Chosen one, you are no longer reactive. You are responsive. You do not absorb chaos the way you used to. You influence it. Rooms will begin to change when you enter, not because you demand attention, but because your presence carries alignment. Conversations will soften. Conflict will lose momentum. This is not personality. This is spiritual gravity. Authority anchored in peace disarms disorder without effort. Do not be surprised if resistance appears briefly as you rise. Fire leaves a fragrance that both attracts and exposes. Some will sense what you carry and feel unsettled by it. That is not your responsibility to manage. Your responsibility is to remain clean, grounded, and surrendered. Authority is protected by humility. The moment pride tries to speak for you, authority begins to leak. Stay bowed, stay teachable, stay yielded. This authority is not for control, it is for stewardship. You have been trained to carry influence without abusing it, to lead without dominating, to speak without crushing. Your fire refined your tone, your timing, and your restraint. That is why heaven can trust you with more. Power without character destroys. Power with character restores. You were shaped for restoration. Remember this, chosen one. Authority does not rush. It flows. It does not strive. It settles. You will notice ease entering areas that once required force. You will notice doors opening without persuasion. That is the evidence of alignment. Heaven responds to vessels that are ready, not anxious. You are no longer proving yourself. You are positioned. Stand firm here. Do not rush to the next thing. Let authority stabilize fully. Let your roots hold the weight of what is coming. The fire has finished its work. What stands now is not fragile. It is fortified. And in the next phase, you will see that what you survived has become the very source of your strength. Carry this authority gently, daily, faithfully, remembering the fire shaped you to serve, protect, and heal others without losing yourself, your joy, or your devotion in every season ahead now. Chosen one. This final movement is not an ending but a manifestation. You are no longer standing at the edge of becoming. You are stepping fully into being. The rise is no longer a concept or a promise waiting to unfold. It is now a lived reality, expressed through how you walk, how you speak, how you choose, and how you carry yourself in the ordinary flow of life. What heaven completed within you during hidden seasons is now meant to move through you with quiet authority. True elevation rarely feels dramatic. In fact, it often feels calmer than expected. There is no urgency to prove anything, no need to announce what God has done. Instead, there is clarity where confusion once lived, peace where pressure once dominated, and confidence rooted not in outcomes, but in alignment. You begin to move differently. Decisions come with less strain. Rest no longer feels like guilt. Action no longer feels forced. This is how divine order settles into a life that has been fully refined. Chosen one. Your assignment will not always arrive with spectacle. More often, it will meet you in everyday moments. In conversations that feel simple, in responsibilities that appear small, in opportunities that look ordinary but carry eternal weight. Do not underestimate these intersections. Heaven often hides purpose inside responsibility and calling inside compassion. What you carry now will speak louder than any title ever could. People will begin to respond to you differently, not because you demand attention, but because your presence feels anchored. Your steadiness will create safety. Your words will carry weight without force. Your silence will speak wisdom. This is influence born from surrender, not ambition. You were shaped so others could rest in the atmosphere you carry. Anointed one, your rise is not self-contained. It was never meant to end with you. Every lesson you survived has become language someone else needs. Every wound you allowed God to heal has turned into wisdom that guides others forward. Every season you endured in silence now carries authority without explanation. Your life itself has become testimony, not through performance, but through consistency. Guard this season carefully. Authority remains powerful only when it stays submitted. Return often to stillness. Let gratitude anchor you daily. Never forget the fire that taught you dependence. Remembering where you came from will protect where you are going. Success tests the heart more subtly than struggle ever did. Protect your intimacy with God more fiercely than your momentum. There will be new challenges, but they will feel different. They will no longer question your identity. They will refine your stewardship. You are no longer learning who you are. You are learning how to carry what you have been given. Heaven is not asking you to burn brighter than others, but to burn longer. Sustainable fire changes generations. Your obedience has already shifted timelines. Things are moving now because you remained aligned when nothing moved then. This is the reward of endurance. Not noise, but fruit. Not applause, but effectiveness. Walk forward with awareness. Speak with intention. Listen more than you announce. Let wisdom govern your pace and love shape your authority. The trial is complete. The rise is active. The assignment is unfolding. You are no longer waiting, you are walking. Do not rush, do not strive, do not shrink. The same grace that carried you through refinement will sustain you through expansion. You are not stepping into pressure, you are stepping into purpose. And purpose carried in humility always multiplies. This is not a farewell, it is a commissioning. When doubt whispers, return to this truth. Nothing in your journey was random. You were shaped intentionally. Heaven walks with you now, not just around you. Carry the light forward without fear. Walk faithfully, walk humbly, walk fully aligned. The path ahead honors God, serves others, and confirms what heaven already declared over you. Chosen one, take a final breath and let this moment seal itself within you. What you have received was not inspiration alone, it was confirmation. Heaven has already responded to your endurance, and the transfer you've been sensing is not approaching, it is active. You are standing in your kairos moment, the precise intersection where obedience meets divine timing. Anointed one, the trial is complete. The weight has lifted because the lesson was learned. What God refined in secret is now authorized in the open. Favor is aligning, wisdom is settling, strength is being renewed from the inside out. This is not hype. This is heaven's quiet agreement with your faithfulness. Walk forward, knowing you are not guessing anymore. You are guided. May peace guard your heart as momentum begins to move. May clarity lead your decisions. May provision meet purpose without strain. What unfolds next will not require explanation. It will carry its own evidence. Stay faithful in small things. Stay aligned in stillness. Let gratitude become your posture as doors open with ease. Chosen one, if this word has anchored something in your spirit, honor it gently. You may leave a reflection below, not as noise, but as witness. If your heart feels led, remain connected to this stream of revelation, where alignment continues and clarity deepens. And if you share this message, do so as light, quiet, intentional, and free. Now receive this blessing. May your steps be ordered. May your voice carry peace. May your presence bring alignment wherever you go. You are not stepping into pressure, you are stepping into purpose. The rise has begun, and heaven walks with you. Go forward, crowned in humility, strengthened by grace, and confident in what is about to manifest.